What's up, y'all? It's your boy BJ, and I am back here on YouTube, and this is my first video of the year. So I'm here kind of talking to y'all from this nice little setup, the desk. But I'm here to talk about, because I just came from the movies and I was like, what way to do some content or film something or create a video or your first video on YouTube, then do like a kind of like a movie review. So I just came from the movies from watching One of Them Days, starring Keke Palmer and SZA. As you can tell, they're on the screen behind me. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I would give it, if I had to rate it, I would give the movie personally a 10 out of 10 for me. I loved everything from the colors, the vibe of the movie. It was just unapologetically black. Hopefully I said that right. But it just felt so with the times. I mean, from the music, like everything was just on point about this movie to me. And I know some people would say otherwise. They may not like it. Who's texting me? So I know some people may not like this movie, but or some people may say they did not like this movie just because maybe how it was African American women were portrayed. But honestly, to me, I don't think that was the intent of the movie. Obviously, this movie was produced by Issa Rae, and it was directed by Lawrence Lamont. And if I'm not mistaken, I think, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correct, I think it was written by Sarita Singleton. And this movie just felt like us, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, the setting was Los Angeles. It felt like it was Los Angeles from the colors of the movie, from the way it was filmed. The cinematography was just beautiful. And I suggest you actually go watch this movie. This is kind of going to be like a spoiler-free kind of review, but I would say this movie was great and I enjoyed it. I would say there's nothing really different about the plot line, what you see from movies like this, if you understand what I'm saying. If you've seen the trailer for this movie and you said, wait, I think I know how this movie is going to go or how it's going to turn out, then you're probably right. But I would say it's still worth going to see. Obviously, it's like a buddy comedy, and they have to pay their rent because they lose their rent due to the character played by SZA giving her boyfriend basically stole their rent money. So the story takes you along, or the movie takes you along that day of them trying to gain that $1,500 to pay their rent. And when I tell you, you feel like you're actually trying to find that money to pay your rent and not get evicted, that's how you feel. Like you feel like you went on a whole experience with these two characters. And first, I would like to say SZA. Let's talk about her acting. If I'm not mistaken, this is her acting debut. Listen, I cannot wait to see her in another film that's kind of like this, or that just genuinely tells the story of African Americans, or like the struggles that we go through. Because when I tell you SZA played this role to a T, I don't know, I think this was just her personality that made it so good. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed SZA's character. I felt like it was so natural for her character to be an artist, and SZA is, an artist a musical artist. But I just felt like this was so fitting for her. I couldn't see no one else like topping this role. And then the chemistry between her and the vibe between her and Keke Palmer's character was just phenomenal. And I think that's what really made this movie, for me, that's what made me enjoy it. To see two African American females kind of star in a movie like this, and it be, more so, I would say, it wasn't negative to me. I know some people may say, well, the antagonist, and this is kind of a spoiler alert, but I know some people may be like, well, the antagonist in the movie was kind of, portrayed or she had the kind of stereotypical way of how people view African American females. But I don't think that was the purpose of it. I think the purpose of it was to show you more so the struggles that we go through as African Americans. And if you really want to be deep, if you really want to go into deeper context, this movie is really telling the lives of a lot of people. And you really can go into depth. Like for instance, I am 23 years old, just turned 23, but I'm living in an apartment and rent is high. Just like it's so relatable to so many people. That's another thing. This story is so relatable. So it's like, if any bad thing happens and you miss rent, that could be that's a lot of people. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And I think that's one reason this movie is so relatable. That's why I enjoyed it. And I don't think it was more so the storyline or plot that intrigued me. It's just that I understood the struggle of the characters and things happen. Like you can wake up one day and you got money and the next you don't. And you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay, a bill or something. I think that's why this movie kind of connected with me. And if you really want to, like I said, if you really want to go deep into context, you will have to do a little bit more like stuff when you go to housing crisis and landlords and how housing now is just so overpriced. You could go really in depth into this story, and it tells it. But like I said, this movie is so with the times. The vibe is there from the music. You're going to hear some Glorilla. So it's kind of, I'm spoiling it now, but you're going to hear some Glorilla. I'm not spoiling it too much. You're going to hear some Glorilla. You're going to be in there like, okay, we in the hood. So, but it's, I don't think that's the part, but it is the fact to show you the struggle or it's so relatable. So like I know some of y'all got friends, either homegirls that that's messing with somebody that they shouldn't be messing with, and they the breadwinner. And I think that's why this story is so relatable, because a lot of people go through stuff like this. And I do say the arcs in the movie, like, it's one overall goal, obviously, to pay the rent. And basically what I mean by that, like the struggle that they have to go through or the journey that they go through in the movie is to pay their rent. But like, they encounter different people or different things that either kind of prevent them from paying their rent, and then like it's kind of like they go back to square one, kind of, sort of. And it's like, you're like, well, what happens now? And I would say the ending, I enjoyed the way it ended. I kind of would have predicted it to end like that, but it wasn't bad. So that's another thing. On to who you will see in this movie. You'll see a lot of people, a lot of familiar faces. Cat Williams, obviously, he was in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling it. But you'll see a lot of social media influencers. I'm going to keep it like that. One, I saw at the end of the movie, I was like, what is you doing here? Parlay. I just spoiled it if you know. But I'm like, what you doing in here? But it was really, really good. I enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Right now, it is on IMDb, it's a 7.2 out of 10. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 97%. And yeah, so I really enjoyed this movie. It had a $14 million budget. I think the lighting was just, as a cinematographer myself and as a photographer, the lighting was phenomenal. I'll have to do some research on who was the cinematographer and lighting and all that stuff. But credits to the production team, whoever worked on that. That was phenomenal. That was beautiful lighting. Obviously, LA shooting there. I don't know if it was shot there, but most likely it was. But lighting was phenomenal in this movie. It looked cinematic. It felt like this was my cousin's story, or I knew everybody, especially with the beginning, and I'm not spoiling it, but like, all of us have that community type feel where you may have the lady that's down the road that's a little bit elderly that sells candy, honey buns, stuff like that. So it is so relatable. Now on to the production company. So you have TriStar Pictures, Hooray Media, Color Creative, Big Boss, and Macro. Shout out to all of them. Producers, Issa Rae, Sarah Ristago, hopefully I pronounced that right. Denise Davis, Poppy Hanks, and James Lopez. Hopefully I pronounced that producer's name right. But and like I said, it was directed, if I didn't say, directed by Lawrence Lamont, and it came out last Friday. But if you're watching this, yeah, it came out last Friday. But like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Go give it a watch. Tell me what you think below in the comments. I know some people are gonna be like, it wasn't. Okay, so I'm a very transparent person, so I can see both sides. If you're like in the comments, this movie just wasn't funny to me, I just didn't enjoy it, I can understand. I think for me, that as someone that likes movies and likes looking into production and behind the scenes of stuff, I don't think the intent, I would say it wasn't, the intent of the movie wasn't to make you laugh, it was. But if you went into the movie theater and you did not laugh at this movie, like none at all, well, I wouldn't say that's you, but I had to respect your opinion if you didn't like it. But personally, I found some things to laugh at. Even if it was one or two things, I wouldn't say I forced myself to laugh, but it was just such a great, it felt so real, as if I knew these people, or like I said earlier, as if this was my cousin's story. And I think that's why I enjoyed it, because it showed that, none of us are perfect. Things happen, and you just had to keep on going and have faith, believe in yourself, and eventually, you'll get there. And obviously, yeah, you'll get there. So I'm not going to continue rambling because I don't want to spoil it, but I thoroughly enjoyed, like, I know that's the third time I said the word thoroughly, I really enjoyed One of Them Days, starring Keke Palmer and SZA. The chemistry was phenomenal. Saw some other familiar faces, like I said, and I know there won't be a sequel, but I would love to see these two characters, of SZA and something else. Like, for real, I was really blown away. And I was saying in the movie theater, after, like, towards the end of the movie, I was like, dang, I would not be mad if this was a show, or if they could have made it a sequel. I don't think they're not going to make it a sequel, but I would not be mad if this was a series. Like, because the way it was filmed, like, the way the chemistry was so strong, I would love to see SZA in something again similar to this, whether it's I don't know whether it's a story similar to this, but I would love to see her in some other type of comedy show that just shows her true acting skills to the fullest. So that is my review on One of Them Days. Let me know what you thought about it. If you saw it, if you thought it was worth it, if you laughed, what was your favorite part? Let me know below in the comments. And again, I'm your boy BJ. And basically, BJ Productions, I'll go ahead and just tell you a little bit about BJ Productions. I'm kind of in the process of rebranding, but this is a creative media company. And I'm a videographer and photographer, content creator, and social media management. So I help people with their brands and help people with social media management. But also, I started off as a photographer, and this is my creative hub, creative space, and I do all things content. So I help with analytics and making sure people get their business and have their content reach the masses. So basically that's what I do. Website is coming soon, and I just really wanted to come on here and talk about this movie in review, because I do all things production as well. So it's kind of like a hub of what I do, and like I said, it's a lot that I do, and I'm in the process of rebranding. So BJ Productions, this channel will be kind of like a main channel, or like a main channel for, like, think of like you have Disney Channel and they have different shows or whatnot. But this will be my main channel, but it will be for all of my kind of platforms or pages that I kind of run that I want to spotlight. So I basically have a sports page, a creatives page, which is kind of like the BJ Productions. I think it's BJ_IG right now. And then I also have a Beg News, which is kind of entertainment news, and basically that will all fall under here, because this is kind of like the parent company, and the other platforms are like the children. So this is my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe. Please subscribe. That'd be nice if you like hearing me ramble, or talk on air or camera. And also you can follow me on Instagram at BenjaminGasson_ BJP_IG. Beg News with the Z _, if I'm not mistaken, and BJP Sports. So yes, for all of those pages, we will greatly appreciate that. This is my review again. Thank you guys for watching this video and just hearing me talk about this movie, and I'm out.